It just goes to show you that the Fiend will like to target me because I will like being held, which I don't like being held, in whatever it composes, or whatever he composes. On the introduction, the Fiend will always like to remain in his house or in his home right here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, because this is where he likes to be for the rest of his days, and there is not a darn thing you can do about it because he likes to troll anybody in ever which he chooses, because that's the Fiend for you. So yay, I'm not in love with this guy, or am I? Because that's too creepy, but I like him. Well, besides that, I think this is the Fiend's request about 10 disastrous anime couples who makes us not want to fall in love. Thanks to the Fiend of my version of the Fiend here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. So without further ado, and this Arkham Twin Days special weekend, because the Fiend's 10 disastrous anime couples who makes us not want to fall in love is what you're guessing. Love is about compromise, mutual understanding, and a balanced power dynamic. Unfortunately, there's none of that between these anime couples. So with a twist, it's like, why? So love is a notoriously tricky concept that takes on several forms, but romantic love seems to be one of the most compelling forms of all. So here you go. While familial love and platonic love have important roles to play, relationships with romantic love frequently steal the spotlight. There's just something about watching a couple in a series get closer, step out of their boundaries, and overcome all obstacles in the name of love. So yes, and that would be Sailor Moon, and Sailor Moon is one of them, but it's not in the top 10 categories of the disastrous that we do not fall in love on this. So nope. On the other side of that, however, there are obviously toxic or problematic relationships. Some relationships just aren't meant to be, but that doesn't stop those characters from trying anyway, whether it's unrequited love, incompatible partners, or manipulative lovers. There are many couples out there that show how perilous falling in love can be, which is very interesting. And I'll give you the top 10 that don't want to fall in love with. And like I say, no, the Fiend is requesting this. Number 10. Kyoka and Erika's relationship started as a lie in Wolf Girl and Black Prince. Yes, if you want to know the name of that Japanese anime, I can give you that. The premise of this series hinges on Erika pretending she has a boyfriend in order to fit in with other girls at school. She begs the most handsome prince-like student at her school to go along with her facade, and he agrees if she promises to become his pet. Even taking into consideration that Erika seems like a bit of a masochist, and the two do eventually fall in love genuinely, it's still troublesome considering Kiyoya's cruel and sadistic treatment toward her before he actually fell in love. So, yeah. Number 9. Goku and Chi-Chi have almost nothing in common and frequently argue on Dragon Ball Z, including in Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Heroes, and whichever comes in whatever, whatever that is. Woohoo! Fans shouldn't forget that Goku thought marriage was a type of food. And like, what? When he originally agreed to marry Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball. Chi-Chi was smitten by his strength, but Goku isn't the best dad material, which becomes obvious as the series goes on. Chi-Chi only ever wanted to be a housewife, but she chose a man whose main goal in life is to be the strongest fighter, a goal that has gotten him in no shortage of dangerous situations. And he frequently involves their children too, much to Chi-Chi's dismay. It's like, come on! Without the sport of fighting, what's not to love? Number 8. Sasuke seems to have a little respect for Sakura, but the two marry anyway in Naruto. So yeah. This couple is notorious for the waves it created amongst fans. Like, what? Even when they were on better terms, Sasuke often left her alone while she helplessly pinned for him the entire time. And even though they eventually get married and have a child in Boruto, which works. Yeah, you get this. Sasuke is rarely around to spend time with his family, regardless of Sasuke's intentions. So get this. It just seems cruel for him to constantly place his needs above his family. Like, yeah, how's that work out for you? So much, and you call yourself a father? Number 7. Eren ignored Mikasa's feelings for him until the end, even though he felt the same on Attack on Titan. Yes! Attack on Titan! It's frustrating for fans to watch Mikasa be so devoted to Eren when he continuously puts himself in danger, and ignores her offers for help. Why did you make a woman cry? While Eren has his reasons, it still doesn't excuse his poor attitude when he interacts with her. The love between these two is tragic, since Eren is destined to fulfill a specific goal that will keep him from living a long or happy life. To this end, he chose to push Mikasa away and focus on his destiny. It's like, I love you, but my love is belong to another, and it's my destiny to keep on being what I do. So there you have it. Number 6. Yukiteru clings to Yuno as a source of protection rather than love. In the Japanese anime is called Future Diary, if you want to know. Yeah, Future Diary. And by the way, this is Alliance Teen, and this is Arkham Twin Day Special, because this is not Alliance Youth, this is Alliance Teen. Yuno's one-sided passion with Yukiteru earned her a place as a top yandere back when this series first dropped. But even though her interest in him seemed legitimate, it ended up being a manipulative situation where each of them had a specific goal, if you want to know. Yukiteru wanted to survive the conflict between the diary users, and Yuno was determined to become God. So, a goddess. Which, that kind of explains to you a little bit better. Something she could only do if she stayed with Yukiteru. Although there are some truly enduring moments between the two, it's overall more toxic than anything else. So yeah, that's one way of saying this. A toxic relationship is a bad one, which is a love and hate scenario. Yeah, you can imagine that. A love and hate scenario between those two. Yukiteru and Yuno. Yuno, it's capital Y-U-N-O. Understand it. Number 5. Light used Misa as a tool to further his agenda on Death Note, which is a shonen horror series. And I know it's shonen, but I didn't know that part about something that Light use anybody or can use anyone as a tool. But on this one, listen to this. Death Note isn't shy about making sure audiences are aware that this relationship isn't 100% one-sided. Misa outright tells Light, if you want to know, he can use her. Yes! He can use her! Like, what? I'm not kidding. Which is his exact intention, and he agrees to make her his girlfriend. Misa's attraction started as an obsession with Kira, but evolved to something resembling actual affection for Light. In truth, it was likely infatuation. Misa's lack of self-esteem led her to eventually commit, well, let's just say she led her to commit suicide after Light's death. So, yeah, it's a horror and it is Arkham. Interestingly, this event only occurs in the manga! In the manga! Not on the TV series, just the manga. But why the manga? Because it's a little bit more accurate, and I'm not saying than the TV series. Of course, it does hint, it shows of a relationship, but not. But however, in the manga, it is, let's say, totally would tell a different side of the story that is a little more accurate. So there you have it. In other words, bad things happened to both of them. So there you have it. That's the point of view when I say everything is Arkham. Number 4. NG and Rei's relationship deteriorates into abuse in My Hero Academia. That's right. Although this marriage is based on the premise of creating an even stronger hero than NG, I thought it was AG. It's NG, NG, capital E-N-J-I, NG himself. It started as a relatively happy affair, with both NG and Rei excited to become parents. Yay! But NG eventually crumbles under the pressure of being a father and turns abusive towards his family. Wow, talk about ruthless. Rei became so disturbed by NG that she couldn't stand the mere sight of him, causing her to have a mental breakdown in her burning her son Shoto, giving him his characteristic facial scar. And no, his son does not become like Jason Todd of Red Hood. He becomes way better than Red Hood. He becomes the hero, and he's a lot stronger than his father ever was. Number 3. Yuki's mental health and trauma created massive obstacles for his relationship with Shuichi. It's the Japanese anime called Gravitation. Yeah, it's like what? Yeah, Gravitation's the name of a Japanese TV show or manga, whichever comes first. Novelist Eri Yuki suffered some serious abuse and trauma in his teenage years, if you want to remember, or for those who watch the TV series and or manga, whichever works best for you. Or most likely, I'm watching this or the manga, whatever comes first. Which resulted in him developing PTSD, which otherwise called a post-traumatic stress disorder. He resorts to being cold and distant in hopes of keeping others away from him. But Shuichi could not be dissuaded. Shuichi's love for Yuki is incredibly devoted, and he has the patience to deal with Yuki's mood swings. The journey The journey they take is full of drama and misunderstandings, but the two eventually come to understand each other. Regardless, Shuichi was treated poorly for quite a while, and it's tough to watch. Talk about tough love! Yeah, tough love and a hard relationship. But it does not get easier than that, does it? No! Because here comes number 2! Shigure's love for Akito drives him to a manipulation and deceit. To manipulation and deceit. From Fruits Basket! I've heard of that. I've heard of the TV show, Japanese manga before, and I've heard of Fruits Basket. However, I only seen one episode. But I can tell you the info. Unlike the rest of the cursed members of the Zodiac, Shigure holds true feelings of love for Akito. Shigure thinks it's best to snap Akito out of her delusion that she needs to trap the other members of the Zodiac to ensure their bond and instead convince her that he'll stay with her no matter what. He resorts to manipulating Toru into helping him break the curse without her consent. And out of spite, if you want to know, he takes revenge on Akito, get this, sleeping with Kureno by sleeping with Akito's mother, the person she hates the most. These are both pretty twisted ways of expressing devotion. It's like, what? What kind of twisted version of love is this? It's so twisted. It's so sick and wrong. That's not what I want to hear on Fruits Basket. Yes, that's how twisted love is. You want to know what kind of love is? It's twisted love. That is the love, that twisted love in Fruits Basket that Shigure holds true feelings of love for Akito. But guess what? He takes revenge on Akito, who is caught sleeping with Kureno by sleeping with Akito's mother. It's like, that is so, makes me want to, how do I say this? I don't know what I just heard, but I feel like I'm gonna go pump my stomach. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. And last but not least, Homura's obsession with Madoka nearly drives her to despair. From Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Like, what? So, yeah, you're going to find out about this. Homura's attraction is tragic, as she can never go back to the same Madoka she met and fell in love with. Instead, she pursues the concept of having a world where Madoka can live, even if it costs Homura her life. Furthermore, Homura's love for Madoka becomes corrupt. There's no doubt that she loves Madoka, but she is determined to override Madoka's feelings in pursuit of her own ideals. Homura's selfish love culminates in the final scenes of the Rebellion movie when she possessively separates Madoka from her god status, directly defying Madoka's wishes. And that is one way of so twisted versions of love. When I say this is a twisted version of love, it's so twisted and terrifying and horrifying because it is Arkham. And that is why it's called Arkham in the first place. That is not what I want to hear because it's so twisted. And it's like, can I go home and then get myself to sleep and have amnesia the next morning so I can forget everything what I heard about this, because I want to have amnesia right now because that will make me feel better. What you expect? That's the Fiend's version of twisted love because he requested this. And for that, I don't know what's gotten into him. I'm guessing he found that source of information. He wanted to share it with all of you in the first place, aka my version, the Fiend. I guess he knows how of his taste and different taste of whichever works in his favor. And tell me, what do you guys think of Arkham Twin Days Weekend Special? And what have I told you of the top 10? Do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button, or the 10 disastrous couples that you do not want them to fall in love. Do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button and or share this video. If you guys like that kind of info from any Japanese anime show, TV series, movie, and Japanese manga for any crossover of this universal lore and more, right here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance of Marvel Spider-Man. And as your friendly neighborhood Spider Cop, who takes chances making mistakes and getting messy, who likes peanut butter and chocolate into a breakfast for dinner, along with the Fiend as well, because he requested this video and wants to share all the info with each and every one of you who are Japanese anime fans. Whether it's the manga, TV series, the movies, you name it, including any crossover like DC, Marvel, and Power Rangers, and Kamen Rider and Disney, and you guessed it, and you name it, including Nickelodeon itself, whichever comes. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice, and I'll see you guys next time of another Arkham Twin Days weekend right here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Friendship is magic for everyone, and see you guys next time for another episode of Arkham Twin Days. Woohoo! I'm gonna have amnesia right now.